Hello everybody, what's up, what's going on, and welcome to the 67th episode of Raptors of One. So, Gary Trent Jr., he's going to get traded. Now, is that a fact, or is that just speculation? We're going to cover that in this episode, so without any further ado, let's get it. It's speculation. That's it. I said it. You don't have to watch this video anymore. You got your answer, it's speculation. No. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding about the fact that you don't have to watch this video anymore. I would appreciate it if you did, because again, if you do like the content, you could obviously give me a thumbs up, or if you want to check out more of my content, you can hit that subscribe button, and you can check out all my other content that I have. And of course, if you have any views or opinions, obviously keeping it respectable, hit the comment section. Oh, yes. I am speculating that Gary Trent is gone. His days are numbered. And why do I think that? Well, there were a lot of rumblings, even, I would say, from the past month. There was some supposed leaks from even the Raptors organization, some people from the Raptors organization saying that, there's possibility that Gary Trent could be traded by the trade deadline. And of course, if you're listening to some of these sportscasters, or even checking out, social media, or checking out some articles, you can tell that, with Gary Trent's expiring contract coming up, it is very possible that they might, before his contract expires and then we lose him for nothing, let's trade him and let's get some value out of it. Now, why do I think that Gary Trent is going to be traded? Well, the obvious reason being that Gary Trent's contract is expiring after this season. But is that a good enough reason? Yes and no, because if we see what happened with Tyler Hero in Miami, when his contract was expired, he didn't opt into his contract, and then he got a bump in salary. Like, I don't know exactly what it was. I think it was somewhere around the 100 milli or over 100 milli for 4 years, something like that. It was working up to like 25 million per year, and I think that's where Gary Trent wants to go to. Rightfully so. I mean, if Tyler can get it, why can't Gary? Now, you guys might be thinking, well, are you making a comparison there in terms of skill level and whatnot? Yes and no, because if you think about it, they're both about the same prototype of player, 3-and-D. If you were to ask me who you would take on your squad, if we could get the Gary Trent from the previous season, 100%, I would take Gary Trent over Tyler Hero any day. But this has to be the Gary Trent from the previous season, because Gary Trent from the previous season was a true 3-and-D player. Like, he was deadly from 3-point, and his defense was amazing. I mean, he was possibly in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. This year, different story. Do I honestly think that Gary Trent is worth the Tyler Hero kind of contract? Raptors fans and anybody else watching this, hit the comment section. Let me know what you think. Would you pay Gary Trent the Tyler Hero kind of contract? Personally, though, I would say no. And that's just because of the dip in his production from last season. Now, if we had the Gary Trent from last season, it would be a tough decision, because I would be like, I don't know the direction that we're going into. Does he fit our vision, i.e. long players who can, who can play defense and offense, who can still stretch the floor, who have that game IQ, but he kind of doesn't fit that bill because he's not that long player, but he's got that skill level, he's got that skill set, he's got the defense, so it is possible to maybe give him that contract. But this was Gary Trent from last season. This season, not so much, and I don't know what it is. Maybe he was just discouraged about the fact that he wasn't even in the conversation of Defensive Player of the Year. But at the end of the day, you did say that you were going to hit that the lab and get back to the defensive buy into the whole defense and improving on your defense and getting into that conversation eventually, but you didn't. So, and on the flip side, I can argue that Gary coming off the bench has been a saving grace for our bench. I can argue that. The proof is in the pudding. It's in the stats. We see it. But again, like, where's the defense? That's what we want to see. We want to see the defense. And we don't see the defense. He hasn't jumped out in any other category, in any other statistical category where, maybe he's good in rebounding, stealing, maybe even passing. No, it's mostly just scoring, and that's okay. That's what we need. We do need somebody who is a legit scoring threat. But Gary Trent doesn't fit that bill for us right now. Definitely not Tyler Hero kind of contract. If you ask me again, ladies and gents, I honestly think Tyler Hero has been overpaid. That's my opinion. Coming back to the performance of the Raptors in these past 4 games, yes, we're on a 4-game losing streak. Up until last night, I was still not hitting that panic button. After last night's game against the Brooklyn Nets, I still wouldn't be hitting that panic button, but I do agree that some changes need to be made. And this is where Gary Trent comes in. If we can get some value out of him, maybe a good, maybe a good center in return, or even a good scoring threat in return, I would take that. Because there's a lot of teams out there. I've been hearing that Golden State's interested in him, Atlanta's interested in him, LA Lakers are interested in him, Clippers are interested in him. So there's a lot of interest for Gary Trent's services, and I'm sure that he would be a very good complement piece to these teams that are trying to get over the hump, trying to get into not just the playoffs now, but even into the whole championship talks, right? But I don't foresee his services in our organization. Unfortunately, I don't see that. Definitely, if he's going to be asking for the Tyler Hero contract, if I was Gary Trent, I would ask for that Tyler Hero contract, because I honestly believe that I'm better than Tyler Hero if I'm Gary Trent. So, no knock on him. It's just, I don't think the organization could afford to even pay him the Tyler Hero contract, especially because we got Pascal's contract coming up, not next year, but the year after, and then even Freddie. So now we got two, now we really need to know what our identity is going to be in the future. So the Raptors, again, 4-game losing streak. Am I going to hit the panic button? I will. But why I'm hitting the panic button is not because of just the personnel, but it's also our schedule. Our schedule is going to be brutal now. Now we're playing quite a few teams over 500, with a record over 500. And it is not that I don't believe in our squad. I think our squad definitely is capable of getting a record over 500 for sure, and beat these teams over 500. We were pretty close against Brooklyn Nets too, but again, that game didn't just prove that we have the ability to hang with teams like that, but we're missing that integral piece that gets us over that hump, that gets us that clutch defensive play against a player like Kyrie, that gets us that clutch player. With all due respect to Freddie, I mean, Freddie was, he's been killing it over these past 2-3 games. He's back now, but he's not that, I wouldn't rely on him in that clutch situation. Yes, I would rely on Pascal even more over Freddie, but Freddie's not that clutch player. Like, he's a good leader, he's not a clutch player. That's what we need. We need a good all-star clutch player to get us into that championship talk, to get us over that hump, to get us that clutch play, whether it's on the defensive end or on the offensive end. And that's what Brooklyn Nets had. They had Kyrie. As soon as I saw the first, in those final few seconds left into the game, I saw how the plays developed. The first time, yes, they were able to stop Kyrie by fouling him. And then they were like, you know what, let's just stick to the play. Even before that inbounds play, I knew Kyrie's getting that ball. And I was hoping that maybe there would have been a switch. Unfortunately, there wasn't much time, 3 seconds left. At that point, it's single coverage. And Freddie was given the assignment to guard Kyrie. Yes, typically Freddie is a good defender, but he's not an elite defender to stop somebody like Kyrie. Kyrie is an all-star. He's a legit all-star, potentially superstar. If it wasn't for his attitude, if it wasn't for all the other drama, he would have been a superstar in the league. And I would argue with his skill level, I think with his skill level alone, he is a superstar. But again, you need that. You need that somebody, somebody like Freddie, who is already like a size mismatch, even with a Kyrie. You know, Kyrie can score over bigger defenders, and you only have a Freddie guarding him, right? I was hoping maybe somebody like Scotty or hell, even Pascal should have been guarding Kyrie at that point. Put a little bit of length. Again, Kyrie is Kyrie, and he's clutch too. You've seen it. 2016 playoffs against the Golden State Warriors. If Kyrie doesn't hit that three-pointer, LeBron doesn't get his championship, right? So again, you know, it's I honestly think that Gary Trent does need to go. Freddie, now here's I've been hearing a little bit about Freddie possibly being in some trade scenarios as well. And as much as Freddie is a good player, and you know what? Honestly, he's showing that, you know, he belongs to in the organization. He's showing that he's got that leadership potential. But sometimes you gotta shake the tree. Sometimes you gotta make those drastic changes to take that next step. A la DeMar DeRozan, right? We had traded DeRozan in the 2018 season to get Kawhi Leonard. Sometimes you gotta make those crazy moves. And sometimes in the moment you're thinking, man, we got Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, he's good, but is he durable? And we're giving away a very durable player in DeRozan himself, who's been making an improvement every season. But is he clutch? Is he that all-star caliber player that demands that defensive double team attention kind of deal that Kawhi Leonard demands? You know? And Kawhi Leonard has that thing that DeMar didn't have, which was being clutch. You know, rising up to that big occasion. DeMar didn't have that at that moment. And that's why that move was made. And what did it result in? It resulted in a championship. And it wasn't just the Kawhi Leonard move alone. Of course not. You had Danny Green. As much as he struggled in the playoffs, you know, you still had a Danny Green who's stretching the floor for you. And then you even had Marc Gasol. That was the most under the radar kind of deal at the trade deadline, and probably the most understated deal, because a lot of people still are like, oh, if it wasn't for Kawhi, we ain't winning that championship. No, my friend, you are not winning that championship without Gasol too. Hell, you are not getting past the Philly series without Gasol. That's how important Gasol was to the squad. That's all I got for today, folks. Again, if you like the content, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to check out more of my content, hit the subscribe button. And of course, your opinions, respectable of course, are always welcome in the comments section. So until next time, I'm out.